All right, happy Saturday and happy 4th of July weekend. Happy Canada Day weekend. As you see, I'm here with my great friend and wrestling historian, I'd call him, Chris DiCarlo. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, hey buddy, welcome aboard. Back in the saddle again.
Yeah, Charlie might not feeling good. Let's
That's too
hope.
bad.
Yeah, I hope he's going to be doing all right. I just, you get worried still to this day about COVID and stuff like that. So
Yeah, and a holiday weekend to boot.
I know that sucks. Really does. So Chris, we've got a great guest.
Yes, we do. And let me introduce him as well here. Actually, he is our first returning guest, but he is a great man. His father was a great man, and we'd like to welcome, as we call wrestling royalty, Mr. Jonard Solie is joining us again today here on Falls Count Anywhere. Hi, Jonard. How are you?
Hello.
I'm doing good, Chris. And you, John?
Thank you.
You guys ready for the 4th?
Yeah.
Kinda, sorta.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, about our next door neighbors blowing off fireworks and stuff.
I just hope people are careful and don't blow their fingers off or start a forest fire.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Especially after we just went through that big heat wave. It's like the ground is dry, and sometimes I think you should leave that for the experts that do it over water or over someplace that's not going to catch fire.
Oh, I agree because I'm scared sometimes next door to me. I was just telling Chris, they're blowing off rockets. It seems like it sounds like I'm in a war zone, and then sometimes I'll look up and I'll go, oh my God, I see some of the shrapnel on the roof. Yeah, and that's not good. That's not good.
Hope your gutters are cleaned out.
Oh yeah, right.
I used to do that every year before 4th of July, clean my gutters out because I knew my neighbors were crazy.
I've never thought of that. Wow, That's really smart. Chris, I never thought of that in a million years. I mean, we do the gutters but I never thought of that's very smart.
Yeah, well, you know what, too? I used to have a pool in the backyard, 4-foot pool, and the stuff would always fall in there, too.
Yeah.
But
yeah, people just don't think about, the other people's, where that stuff is going and everything. So, but I actually got to be honest with you, before we get into wrestling and everything, I saw something last night on TV, on the news, that they're coming out with doing fireworks shows with drones, with hundreds and hundreds of drones. And they made the American flag. They did all kinds of other stuff. Wow. Now, granted, you don't have the boom and all that stuff that everybody wants, but if you got a great PA system, you can add the boom.
It's got to be cool. Yeah.
But, it's something people will have to get used to, but I think it's something that you'll see down the road more and more doing because it's less expensive. Well, I don't know. Yeah. Let's put it that way. But you're not taking chances of anybody getting hurt or fires or anything.
Yeah.
But hey, we'll see what they're coming up with a lot of amazing things today. I noticed you guys noticed up my 2 spotlights behind me. That's not a spotlight; it's just my lights.
Yeah, light.
Yeah.
Cool. I just kind of bounce back and forth like
right.
A pinball machine.
So
the man cave.
Yes.
We got stuff coming up, right, Chris, in Waterloo, Iowa? What's happening?
In Waterloo, Iowa, we got the Hall of Fame that's happening. It's the Charlie Tagos and Lou Thez Hall of Fame. And that year, last year, my dad was added to as an award. So now people will be able to get the Gordon Solie Award if they're an announcer, or they're even talking about doing podcasters. And stuff like that. So that way you'll get more people, because to be honest with you, there's a limited supply of announcers. There's an unlimited supply of podcasters.
True.
So you kind of have to balance that out a little bit, but you also want to give awards to people. You want to kind of get the awards to the people that are still alive. So that way they will know about it and they'll be like, hey, this is great. Posthumous awards are great as well. Family members, get to feel that effect. But I still think that, it's nice to be able to get to the people that are still alive. And so that's what they're trying to do. But at the Hall of Fame, I mean, we got Trish Stratus coming. We got Jim Ross. Jim Ross will be the first one that will get a Gordon Solie Award. Trish Stratus is getting the Lou Thez Award. You got Mike Rotunda. You got Danny Spivey. But just name a few other people are going to be there. It's going to be J.J. Dillon, Jerry Briscoe, Joe Malenko, which is Jody Simons. And, of course, Wes Briscoe is going to be there. And you're going to have Thunderbolt Patterson there. James Beard is going to be there. And you guys interviewed him. That was a great interview. I like the comment when he's like, well, I got nothing else to do. I can stay with you guys. And James is a great guy. I really liked him. I got to sit next to him last year, and we had a great time. But this the event is July 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. So that's a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday is like a meet and greet. And then we'll have the roundtable discussion, and it's going to be on Championship Wrestling from Florida. I will be hosting great, just lost my brain. I'll be hosting that roundtable. And I reached out to fans to get their questions.
I sent you one.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. But I wanted, not just from my perspective, I'm going to give a little bit of perspective of how wrestling started in Florida. It was actually before any of these guys showed up. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, where they did their first filming and stuff. And then we'll go to the questions. And I'm going to try to keep it to where it doesn't get too long-winded. I wish I could have where I could turn off a mic, like they should do at the when they're doing campaign debates. Yeah. Okay, you're done.
Yeah, right.
you got your 2 minutes.
Right.
So we're gonna. I'll try to keep it. Questions will go to certain people, and I'll say, look, you got like 2 minutes because we got so many questions and so many people that are going to be there, and there's going to be a lot of Florida boys there. That you definitely want to hear about. And we got really good questions. I'm not going to reveal them right now. I have to pull out sheets and go to my computer. But you would be really amazed. I'm going to film it and I'll put it on my Facebook. And then we've got Friday night is the wrestling matches, but we got events going on a little bit before the Friday night where people go over and get together. But on Thursday night, afterwards, we go to and I'm going back one day. Thursday night after the meet and greet, we all go to the bar at the restaurant, at the hotel we're staying at, and we have trivia night. People get in groups of tables, and then they ask the trivia questions. And, then they give a winner. So it's a lot of fun. Everybody's there. And, it's not like Vegas where you got a big hotel and people are wandering everywhere. This is a small venue that can hold up to 200 people. So people are going to be right there with the wrestlers. They hang out with you because they're not going somewhere else, And then Friday night after the matches, then we go to a restaurant and have pizza and everything as a whole group, and that's a lot of fun. And then Saturday night is the dinner and the awards. Okay, so then on Friday night when we're during the wrestling matches at nighttime, and it's a great show, definitely worth coming to. So if you're going to come out for the whole thing, 3 days, get your ticket. It's not that expensive, but we're also going to do a raffle, and it's not any old little raffle. It's going to be a raffle that at least, 11 people are going to win. Okay. And it's not just a photograph of somebody in a frame or a t-shirt or anything like that. You see what's behind me?
Yeah.
Okay. Those are all metal pictures.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay. So what I did was Saturday night at the dinner, we'll have I have a metal picture of Trish Stratus. I keep calling her Chris sometimes. And we got a metal picture of Jim Ross and one of Danny Spivey and one of Mike Rotunda. So it's not like you're just going to put a picture frame up at your house. You're going to put a metal picture on your house. So when somebody comes in, they're going to go like, wow, where did you get that? This has never been done before in any of the Hall of Fames. This is the first time. Then I've got one other thing that I'm bringing in, but I'm not going to tell anybody yet.
Right.
Okay. We got tickets on sale for the raffle. You $10 will get you 11 tickets. $20 will get you 23 tickets.
Oh, geez.
So I'm trying to get you to spend your money.
Right.
But all that money is going to the Dan Gable Museum.
That's
to help it support it and everything like that. Because they're housing us in there, so we need to give back a little bit, and this is the way to do it. But I have pictures of, and I should have sent some to you, but I didn't. But I also have three prints are canvas, and then the rest are metal. But I have Jack and Jerry Briscoe. I have Jack Briscoe and my dad in an interview, cool. And it looks antique because, well, it is pretty much. It's like 1973. And that's back when I was a little toddler. Well, maybe I wasn't a toddler then. But he, to those guys, I am a toddler. But so I got him and my dad talking, and it was after he had his match. And you could just see them kind of like laughing and smiling at each other. So it's a really classic picture. Then I got another really cool picture of Jerry. That's all I'm going to say on that one. I can't say exactly what it is because Jerry doesn't even know about it.
Oh, that's
So if he's listening here, he might know a little bit now, but not like he's going to have fun with this one. And so it's going to be, we'll give away one Thursday drawing. Then Thursday night at the trivia, we're going to give away two. Then at the matches, we're going to give away four. And then the night we'll have the other four at the dinner. So we'll be drawing all the time. But the nice thing is I'm going to have the person write down, because the way I'm doing, my wife's making me a book. We'll have the numbers of the tickets, and it'll have the first number and then the last number. So we know if somebody wins. And then we're going to have them write just their name and their phone number. That way, if they're not there, we're not just going to throw their ticket back in the bucket. We're going to send it to them.
Yeah, that's great.
If they bought a ticket and then all of a sudden but I'm not going to be coming to dinner, I don't want you to waste your money. I want you to know that you're going to still be eligible to receive it. So, and we're going to see how this works out. I have like 90 sets of tickets at the 23, and I have 86 sets, or maybe 76 sets. So, we should make a good amount of money for the museum, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
I know. I really wish I could come, but we're kind of in transition. I know before we had you on a couple months ago, we had the green screen, the Falls Count Anywhere. We were in a studio type setting, and now we're kind of working from our own houses and transitioning. We're going to have a new logo and a banner so that you can see a banner behind us. So we're kind of in transition too, but growing also. As we're on Twitter and Spotify, and like yourself, I call you wrestling royalty because you are. And I don't know if you caught the interview. We had Mr. Doyle King. What a voice, too.
No, I didn't catch Doyle's.
That was last week's show. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What a voice. Yeah.
Yeah. And Mick Karch and George Shire. So I come across some people that we can share, Jonard, and Mick Karch is trying to get me some guests to come on. So,
Hey,
they're good guys and good podcasts too.
well, that's what it's all about, is helping each other out. I mean, you're not going to, I mean, look at how many people are in the United States. There's 400 million people in the United States. And you're not going to reach all of them, but you're going to reach a portion that wants to watch your show. It's like I always kind of laugh when they talk about, the airline, the people flying and everything. Well, there's 2.5 million people flying this weekend. Well, gee, that's a small number compared to the 400 million people.
Right.
I mean, 42 million people are driving. So I kind of sit there and go like, it's not that big of a deal in that aspect, but it's cross promoting. And then what I'm going to try to do for you guys, and you'll just have to send me a couple questions you want me to, or maybe, something you want. I can get not Jack, but Jerry to say something. Hey, catch, these guys on the podcast and see who I can get. Some people might say, well, I don't know. I don't know the guys or anything like that. But my podcast will be starting in August 1st.
Awesome.
It is called No Nonsense, Just Common Sense. The most unusual podcast in the world. Yeah,
awesome.
We're adding that in there. We're going to do a 40-minute show. We're going to do it twice a month for the beginning. We're going to give that like 4 months and slowly build up our crowd, and then just make sure that we're doing everything right. I don't want to do 4 shows and all of a sudden go like, oh man, I wish I'd done that show differently. Right. So, and then we'll pre-do all the shows, so that way my guy that's doing the producing can have time to get it together. But the first 15 minutes, first 5 minutes will be talking about disclaimer, what my show is about. And what we're trying to do and how we're trying to reach you. Then we're going to do hot topics. That's going to be the first 15 minutes of the show. And we're going to talk about, could be abortion, could be term limits. It could be fires, anything that's hot that's out there.
Nice.
And we're not going to really do a debate like I did on another show where the guy had me debating the guy. I felt it was a little unfair in an aspect because the guy could sit there, and he did this several times. He's don't believe you. Well, I had the facts.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, why do that? You're just getting back and forth. What we're going to do is we're going to offer, that's why I said common sense. It's going to be like, now think about this. And what we're going to do is then do your research. Don't depend on, and I'm going to go after both right-wing radical news organization, left-wing radical news organizations. Because too many people want to listen to the one. Well, I want to give you the idea of how many different right-wing radical organizations are out there and how many left-wing radical, are out there. And so you need to pick. You need to venture out and look at some other newscasts and then find the truth. Then we're going to switch over to my good buddy, Al Ernst, who is a comedian. And Al's going to do 15 minutes on comedy.
Oh, nice.
And so it's be some of his routines. We could be talking to different comedians that are out there. And we're just trying to, give you it gives you a break from the news to comedy, get you to laugh. And then our last portion will be, we got 2 more. We'll do an interview with somebody. It could be Jerry Briscoe, Bob Roop, or whoever, And then at the very end of the show, we're going to do a 5-minute show on vintage wrestling tapes. I've got all these old matches that people have never seen, except for the ones that actually went to the match that night, because these aren't at the studio. These are, at the arenas. So I'll be able to give you like a 5-minute, and that'll be basically be the show. So
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, love it. It's not just wrestling; it's everything. So that's great.
That's why we said the most unusual podcast in the world. We're going to just flip it up because some people might say, "Hey, I just want to hear the news. I don't want to hear about the wrestling, or I want to watch the comedy." But hopefully that way that'll get them to stay the whole 40 minutes.
Oh, I love it. I mean, we're doing that all the time. We're trying, Chris, right? All the time trying to develop stuff. And that's
Yeah.
good. I like that a lot. That's a real good one. I can't wait. I was gonna say something real quick about the Iowa, um, in Waterloo, Iowa. Chris, you wanted to go so bad. We've talked about it and talked about it. It's so affordable, right, Chris? You were saying that.
Right. And it's not that I couldn't go alone and enjoy it, because I know a lot of you already, like Mr. Beard and yourself, Jonard. But I'd want to come with somebody and say, "Hey, take my picture with Jonard." So for sure next year.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
No, it was. I mean, it's worth every penny. I mean, my goodness, it was so. Chris, when you were telling me, and the only thing that didn't work out for me was just getting there, because we're in Niagara Falls, New York, so but no big deal next year. But
yeah, but we can drive 12 hours, be right there one day.
Oh, I know. No, I know.
I had it all planned out. We were gonna drive there Wednesday, the 20th, the 21st, 2nd, and 3rd, and then drive back on Sunday.
No, I would. Oh my God, the affordability though is what I'm saying. It's worth every single penny. I've never seen anything like it, so that's awesome about it.
Because I don't know what airline would fly from Buffalo to near Waterloo, Iowa, though. Too is the thing.
Well, I know American Airlines flies into Waterloo, but I'm flying into Cedar Rapids, and then they'll be picking me up from there. And I got a 2-hour flight or 2.5-hour flight, which I was like, sweet. Because last time I went, I did go American Airlines, and when we left Florida, we stopped in Atlanta, but we had to run to the next plane because we left Florida so late because it was raining and they didn't want to take off. And so I was able to get up to the plane and got there. But then when they flew back, it was funny. I had Chuck Grassley, who's on I know that. And he was flies that flight. Yeah. And when I was leaving, he was going to Washington. We flew into Chicago, and out of Chicago. Oh, yeah, that's right. We flew into Chicago too. And now, if you ever had to catch another flight in Chicago, it's crazy. Yeah, because you got to run forever.
Right.
Now, then on the way back, that's when Chuck Grassley got on the plane, and of course they let him get on first. Yeah. But hey, the guy flies out every Monday, so that's cool.
Yeah.
So when we were leaving the plane, he was leaving. I just walked up to him beside him. I said, "Chuck, can you do me a favor?" I said, "Can you get Trump under control?" He was like, all of a sudden he started walking faster.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to chase him down. I said what I wanted to say.
Well, I'll tell you, your podcast is going to be great. I can't wait. I love this. I love this idea. Chris, my podcast that I do is kind of a political type thing, but I'm in the same, no way as good as yours sounds with the variety. Mine more, right? I try to be common sense. I think we're missing it, and I think you're going to give it great. I can't wait. And it starts in August, right?
Starts in August.
I can't wait.
Well, yeah, we're going to definitely promote that each and every week here, of course, to check you out, and like our AWA Unleashed podcast friends there in Minnesota. And of course, John has a show here through our network on Monday night called Citizens United with John Rustino. And it's a local take for the most part of what's going on in Niagara Falls, New York, and near Buffalo. But he also branches out throughout the world and country where they support sexual assault victims and go against pedophiles and stuff like that. It's a great show. Yeah. And John also has a sports show, Jonard, on Friday night, last night. Sports about everything, but not wrestling, because that's our show.
Right. Yeah.
That's a large venue.
Yeah.
That's got to keep you pretty busy.
Yeah, sports never. I mean, you see, it never ends between the four major sports. It's just the money's so huge, and there's just so much involved. It's ridiculously incredible.
Well,
but
that's one thing that my dad always kind of disagreed with about the sports people out there, is them wanting to be paid for their autographs.
Mm,
My dad says,
Yeah.
we're getting paid by them coming to the arena, coming to the shows, buying the products, the T-shirts and stuff like that. He says, somebody wants my signature, I'm more than happy to give it to them. So when I see somebody charging somebody $25 for a signature or $50 for a signature, maybe that's all that kid's got.
Right.
That he raised over the year, doing cutting grass. Of course, I think they make more money today cutting grass than I did.
Yeah.
I also delivered newspapers,
Yeah.
but I just, and of course, somebody asked me one time for my autograph. And I looked at it like, why do you want my autograph? I'm nobody. It was just a weird feeling to sit there the first time, give my autograph. But yeah, I think what you're talking about on going political and everything like that, that's excellent, because like you're attacking or you're talking about what's going on in your area.
Yeah.
And I like the part about the talking about the kids, especially if you go into trafficking.
Yeah.
These people today out there just,
Yeah. We
don't understand. I mean, are they crazy?
Yeah, we do go after that hard. And here in Niagara Falls, New York, Niagara County, being so close to the border of Canada, we have a problem. We really do. Human trafficking here is huge, and this is a county of only 200,000 people, and but you would be amazed at the money and the you know how that goes. It's sick, and
The corruption.
I think people are starting to finally wake up to it. I hope through our through awareness. I want to ask you something, Mr. Solie, real quick. Something that's going on.
Wait a minute. Do you have $1?
Oh, that.
Okay.
No, wait, John. I'm going to cut. Wait, hang on. I'm going to cut you guys off right there.
Okay.
To go see, was it Kevin Nash, 60 or 80 for that autograph picture?
Yeah. Not worth it.
No.
I don't need those. I'll be honest.
Just like though, we want to on behalf of Falls Count Anywhere and myself, since we got you back here on the show, Jonard, we'd like to thank you for. We had a nice show with Mr. Sonny Ono.
Oh yeah,
and James Beard and all the people you've referred us to, and we greatly appreciate it.
Oh, not a problem.
Nicest people, and the nicest guys too. Wow, they'd spend so much time with us. It was great.
Yeah. Now, what were you going to ask, John?
Now, I was going to ask real quick, Ric Flair. That's coming up. Any thoughts on, man? I mean, here's a little something I want to show you here. Then there's this. This is what the doctor.
No, that's Jerry Briscoe.
Jerry Briscoe. I'm sorry, not doctor. Jerry Briscoe.
Yeah. I agree with Jerry.
Yeah.
I don't think the guys when they're. Is it believable that a guy that's 68 years old or 73, however old Rick is, I think he's 73, wrestles somebody that's in their 30s, that's in better shape? Who do you really think is going to win that match? You got to make it believable. And to me, that's not believable. And plus, Rick's taking a chance of killing himself. And it was just like, there was another wrestler, Brian Blair, when he wrestled at Waterloo. The last time it was his retirement match. And his back was already bad, and he knew he was going to have to have surgery. Well, there were a couple times that he actually laid out on the floor, telling the ref, just have him break it up so I can give me some time down here to rest. Because the cold floor was good for his back, and he was trying to get it straight. But he later then he went out on a stretcher. There comes a time when you got to say, guys, it's time to give it up. And go travel the circuit, doing the autograph sessions, going to. You can still sell your pictures and stuff like that.
He's got his own. He's got 2 different podcasts. That guy.
Yeah.
And the endorsements are piling up. I've seen him on Twitter, Facebook. He's getting like some rather large, like not large, but there was like a some kind of a, I mean, it was weird, but some kind of like something for your skin. I don't know, like a lotion. But he's got promoting, he's promoting stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel bad because I watched that one thing on ESPN or whatever that was about his life, and I realized how much he did to himself, obviously. But then you look at it and geez, this has got to be for money, obviously. I mean, it has to be, I would guess, and it's sad because he goes out on a stretcher. Not a way to end this because great career.
It was like the movie The Wrestler.
Yeah. Yes.
It's exactly how it ends when you take it too long. My dad was the same way. He knew it was time for him to retire. He was tired of traveling. He used to travel Friday nights, Saturday nights, during the week. Of course, he didn't get up in time in the morning. When he did get up, he'd watch Bob Barker. Price is Right. And he used to, every morning, that was one of his favorite shows. Because he always thought Bob Barker was so great, hosting his show. And he was.
He was.
So, but,
well,
yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know. I see Ric Flair's working out with different people but he wasn't so fast in getting up from being slammed off the top rope like back in even 10 years ago. But it's like Mr. Jack Lord said on our show, it's a money grab because of what's been going on throughout his life and divorces and whatnot and WWE. But I was going to buy his, Jim. We're good friends with Mr. David Crockett, and we appreciated him being on the show. They had a Ric Flair, Jim Crockett figure, and I thought, well, okay, what, $20-$30? I'll buy it. $199, Jonard, for a Ric Flair bendable figure. No way.
But here's the thing about Flair that I don't get, and then this is just my thoughts, and I know nothing. He's got such a persona that he's with the Tampa Bay Lightning. I mean, I see him do it. I mean, he wouldn't even have to wrestle no more. Just him showing up and yelling "woo" and talking is enough. I mean, that's what's weird about it. Like, he could probably make money just talking.
Yeah. But, he definitely can. But he still wants to be the number one guy. He can't let it go.
It's sad. Yeah.
And like you said, it's just sad for the industry. I mean, you can look at a lot of the other guys that have done it, but and a lot of the guys didn't. A lot of the guys are smart. Like Jack Briscoe was smart when he retired. He was coming out of that. It was out west somewhere in the snow, and he told Jerry, he says, "I'm done. I'm going home." Even Jerry retired at the right time. Because Jerry can get around. You see some of these guys that didn't retire at the right time, and they're hunched over. They got canes walking. It's sad, that you see that.
And then we had on the show a couple of weeks ago, we had I don't know if you've seen Jonard or not, Chief Jay Eagle, who is 68 and still wrestles every Saturday night there, but he looks like he keeps in shape though.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. If you keep in shape, you can still maybe do some good wrestling, but not like these guys that, you're being thrown against the ropes. You're getting, a pile driver or something like, it's, you're still taking a chance, and like I said, I'd rather see the younger guys wrestle and bring their skills, but I still think that I really wish wrestling would kind of go back to the old days and not have all these gimmicks of the ladder matches, people climbing up ladders to get to the suitcase. And, it's just like I always said, one day somebody's going to die. Well, look who died, coming down from a chain or whatever. And his brothers weren't happy about that. We know who we're talking about.
Yeah, and Jerry Lawler having a heart attack live on the air. I mean, you just never know.
Yeah.
I wish we could just go back to having managers again. Would be nice. Or they're no more. They don't exist. Hardly any guys wearing masks. It would be kind of cool to see that.
A drop kick, a sleeper hold.
Yeah. Fireman
elbow tie up.
Well, and also where the heel goes in the corner and he's like, no, and he's on his knees.
That flair, yeah.
The baby face is always going like, okay.
Yeah, right.
And when he drops his guard, he hits him right in the stomach.
Yeah.
You know, and Buddy Colt was great with that. You know, but yeah, we don't have that. It's all, and even the finishes, a finish that before would take you out, you now that doesn't do anything to you. You know, so they're doing 4 or 5 finishes. Well, why are you doing that? Just do one good finish. You know, don't tell me you're going to get up every time and you know.
Right.
So I like a good show, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I think my dad always tried to promote was a good show. You know, he was really telling it way. Yeah, and also the announcers today, they don't sit there and continuously talk about the show. All of a sudden they get on to some other comment about, oh, check her out over there.
Right. No, you're right. Yeah.
You know, talk about the match, because like I said, that one time that blind guy told me that he loved wrestling. And I just kind of like looked at him and said, but you're blind. He says, yeah, but the way your dad describes a match, I knew everything that was going on. You know, and that's the whole thing.
That's incredible. That's broadcast. That's being a genius, because like I think of Vin Scully in baseball, and these guys, it's the same thing. If he could have been on radio, calling matches on the radio easily, and we would know what was happening and feel it. Those are the best. Because I know me and Chris tried to be broadcasters, right, Chris, when we were younger and everything else. And those guys, your dad, I mean, unreal, the talent. And I'm just glad I got to hear them all.
Well, I'm sure I'm dating myself, but the fight on the radio with Muhammad Ali back in the 60s. I mean, you're sitting there, you're glued to the radio, you know, because it wasn't on TV, you know, and you just, you know, you could hear, you could feel every punch that they were talking about, you know. So, but yeah, but I mean, TV does definitely adds to it. So you need to make sure it's really good and clean. And, you know, and Eddie Graham was always good about it, telling people that when you talk, don't move your lips, just sit there and talk to the guy, you know. So that way the fans didn't know you were communicating, you know. But out there now, the guys kind of like talk, you know, while they're doing things.
Yeah.
And it's just a way that back then it was different, you know, but everything evolves, you know.
Yeah, I know. Real quick, Jonard, though, I got to tell you, I don't know if you remember or you've seen it yet. Of course, you know, I got all kinds of footage. I send you some clips.
Yeah.
Mr. Florida, a.k.a. was Paul Jones under the mask against the Super Destroyer. It was Championship Wrestling from Florida, 1980. And the Super Destroyer got the cigar from Humperdinck and put it like in the eye of the Mr. Florida. Yeah. And your dad's calling it. And then your dad actually, like, it was like real. And I want to believe it was real. I don't know if it was or not, but your dad even crawled in the ring and checked on him, and it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad liked to live a lot. Yeah.
Well, I guess we've kept you way longer than we're supposed to, Chris, Mr. So. But we always do this, so the poor guests get held hostage here on this show.
That's fine. I mean, it's like I'm just sitting here working in my basement, the man cave. Sorry. Yeah, actually, I shouldn't call it a man cave. It's a family room. You know, my wife is loud down here.
Right.
I just like it down here because one, with the pictures behind me, and my cousin took all those pictures, and he passed away. So the pictures remind me when I'm down here of my cousin. And I try to keep one thing of somebody's that meant something to me. So that way I'm not doing what do I want to say? A memorial for them. But this isn't like a memorial. This is just artwork. Yeah. And that's what I like. And I got my wrestling room over there. But I don't have a lot of wrestling in there yet. It's right now my staging area for me to clear out of my eBay business and move into the podcast and a few other things that I'm working on. So, but I'm enjoying life.
Good.
Yeah,
great.
That's all we can do.
Yeah. So July, well, I'll let you say it, Mr. Solie. I know July 21st to the 23rd, Waterloo, Iowa.
Just a couple of weeks away.
Yep. And the tickets are, if you go for the whole event, gives you a pass for everything, is $130.
Jeez.
And that's for dinners, the free
Unbelievable.
pizzas, the beer. Too bad they don't have craft beer. Since I moved to North Carolina, I pretty much drink nothing but craft beer now. But yeah, you're gonna meet a lot of people, and it's just growing each year. And Jerry has done a great job, and Troy Peterson. You can't. The man he's got his eBay business, and he's got a 7,000 square foot warehouse. So when I heard that, I was like, woo! And he does Impact Wrestling. He owns that. And then he does the Hall of Fame.
That's why we couldn't get him this morning to join us. He's just too busy right now. He said he'd love to come on and give us a recap of the convention.
Yeah. He's a great guy, and I'm trying to help him out. That's why I'm doing the raffle. I said, don't worry. I'll take care of that I'll get everything ordered, and I'll get it all fixed up for the raffle. And you'll have to check out my Facebook, and you'll see all the pictures that we're going to be giving away. And like I said, it's not just a belt like hanging on a wall. To me, that's not that. I want to see somebody, and I think everybody will really love these. So, and then Saturday night, the dinner, great. Hotel's great. Walk right across. They have a little pathway across from the hotel to there, and the museum is only 2 blocks away.
Yeah, Falls Count Anywhere's got to be there next year, Chris.
Yes, I'm gonna be there no matter what. I don't care.
It's too much. It's incredible. I mean, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when I saw Thunderbolt Patterson, and I was talking to him. He said, "Man, I got to do a bit for your dad." So I taped him 2 other times of talking about my dad. Thunderbolt is a great guy. My dad was always like, when he said, "Yeah, when Thunderbolt came out, I never knew what he was going to be talking about." He was so enthusiastic, and he says he just kind of like just exploded, and he's a great guy, really super nice guy. So I hope next year we'll have him in one of the pictures.
Speaking of that too, I'm glad he's still alive and with us. And we were going to have on, which we are going to have on. We had some technical difficulties with Mr. George Lamberth there.
Okay.
And I know they got a convention going on this weekend. Actually, it is there in Alabama area.
Nice.
So, but yeah, we hope to have him on, and then Thunderbolt as well, hopefully. But
well,
yeah, greatly appreciate you, Mr. Solie, Jonard, a friend of the show, always welcomed.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you communicating with us and referring people to us, and definitely promote this convention. Like John, I've been promoting it for months myself, right?
Oh, definitely. Oh, I know. No, you have. I feel bad that we're not there, but it's next year.
Next year.
Well, then next year we'll have the shirts, we'll have the banner, we'll be there,
and we'll all just start preparing. We got to go. This is too much.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, that's why this year I bought my airline ticket back in, I think, March. So I got a pretty decent rate.
I got to I'll tell my wife Robin to get ready for Iowa.
Yeah.
So get ready.
We can drive it though. Remember, 12 hours from here straight.
I hear you. Yeah.
Well, depending on how the air traffic goes, I hope when I get to the airport, they don't say, "Oh, you've been canceled," because I'll be sitting there going, "Okay, I'm driving."
They're driving right. Oh, she's yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, Mr. Solie, thank you for spending so much time with us.
Oh, you're welcome. And please, you can call me Jonard.
Jonard. All right, I will.
Mr. Solie's my dad, and but yeah, I appreciate you guys very much. You guys have a great show, and I will constantly give you as many people as I can to send your way. And like I said, if you email me something, Chris, or what you guys would like me to ask some people out there, that I can film it and send it to you guys. And I will do my best. I don't know who will say yes, who will say no. But hopefully I'll be able to convince them to say yes.
Yes, we will definitely, and we greatly appreciate that too.
Okay.
All right, sir.
You guys have a wonderful 4th of July and be good.
You too.
You too.
Thank
All
you.
right. You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So, Chris, wow. Again, we held a Mr.
Yeah,
Jonard
wow.
Solie.
Can never stop the stories he's got, though, with such a famous dad and a great person. And he's a great person himself and a friend to the show. So,
no, I appreciate this guy. Wow. What a, we could talk. That's the thing. This show is going to be 2 hours before it's done someday. We're going to end up having to extend because the interviews just can go on and on and on. You know it. It's so much fun.
I know I say 15, 20-minute interview and it's been longer each time. And I'm not going to stop anybody because we love the classic stories.
Yeah, I can't stop.
And so, but we better take that break.
Let's take a break real quick. It'll be only about a minute and 50-second break. We'll be back with the rest of our show, Classic Clips, the Iron Sheik, and Jobbers. Be back in a moment. All right, welcome back to Falls Count Anywhere with my good friend and wrestling historian in my mind, Chris DiCarlo. Charlie Turner is on the mend. We heard from him this morning. He's not feeling good, and I know he'll be watching. So, of course, Charlie, you need anything, let us know.
Yep, we wish him the best. Hopefully get better soon for the next couple of weeks, and we got some guests into the month of July. So
Definitely.
yeah,
we missed Charlie.
John kind of Mr. Solie there, of course, just to force a habit because we got that respect for everybody is how we were growing up. But we got to mention in today's day and age wrestling real quick, WWE has their monthly pay-per-view tonight, 8 o'clock on the WWE Network and through Peacock, and of course on pay-per-view is Money in the Bank 2022 event. So.
Yeah. Hey, it's I don't know what to say, man, Chris. We were kind of talking about before. It's just, it is what it is, I guess. People still like it, right?
I really, where I agree with Mr. Solie, and you, I'm sure you agree too, but I think the NWA on Fight and AEW is pretty good. I keep up on all of it, but I really watched the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, and it was great. It was a match after a match. Every match was great, and no BS interview, no, backstage crap.
Right.
It was wrestling, and it was great, and but that's AEW, and that's why they are who they are.
They are, yeah.
But we got to carry on here on this show this week.
Yeah, let's check in with our good buddy, and I'm glad he's still with us too, talking about somebody, the Iron Sheik. Let's see what he said this week, and these are courtesy of Charlie, and I'm glad Charlie sent them to us before he started feeling sick. But anyways, Charlie, you're out there. We'll be talking. All right, let's bring up the Sheik. Oh, geez. Jelaine Maxwell, go F yourself forever. Yeah, she just got sentenced to 20 years. Probably should have been a lot more, but yeah, I agree with the Sheik.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, it should have been for life. And
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I don't know
We'll
either.
leave
But
it there.
yeah, and the Sheik's right on the money, though, of course. He's always timely. Let's see what he's got next. Well, geez. What's the
Oh.
best sports type song? Well, here's what he says. When Two Become One by Spice Girls make me pump up to beat the F of Hulk Hogan.
Like we said, a week does not go by without a Hulk Hogan mention.
Yeah, that would be. Well, all right, let's go to the next one.
That's great.
Name an athlete you'd love to run into. Kyrie Irving of the Brooklyn Nets, who is asking to leave the Brooklyn Nets. He's forcing his way out of Brooklyn. He says Kyrie Irving, so I can throw him off the flat Earth. Yeah, yeah. No, Kyrie's a pro. Yeah. So the Sheik is great because he's so timely, right? I mean, he's right up to date.
He's right up to date, and it's just great. Again, our goal is to get him on this show someday and have him do a Sheik tweak himself.
Oh God, live Sheik, that'd be unreal.
There goes the whole show for sure.
Yes. Oh my God, that's a 5-hour show. Let's open up the vault though.
Oh yes, each and every week here. Disclaimer: these classic clips are provided from my own personal collection. I do not sell them to nobody. I do not trade them to nobody. And we got some rare ones here. I know we kind of repeat people, like we may repeat Greg the Hammer Valentine here, and our first clip, classic, the icon, the legend, Mr. Roddy Piper.
Yep. Here he comes.
We got some. Speaking of which, here, John, you hear the bagpipes? You can only think of one man.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, no.
This is 1977-78 out of San Francisco.
Wow.
And LA territory here.
That's unbelievable. I always say he's underrated. He was unbelievable.
Definitely. That's why, definitely should have been a world heavyweight champion, no doubt.
Yeah, and he did part as much as Hogan did in a lot of ways, right? With the war to settle the score. I mean, he needed him.
Yep, and here he is, 1980 from the Portland territory, which he's teaming with Rick Martel against the Sheep Herders. Classic feud. And then here, John, I don't know if you probably didn't notice or hear, but here's another friend of the show, Mr. Rip Rogers in his younger days there.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, but you got to watch this, right?
Yes. Look at this.
Bang. Oh. And then the blood will start flowing down, so you know that was real.
And what the hell was that he hit himself with?
That was a beer bottle.
Was it a beer bottle? Oh, okay.
Yep. Look at the blood just flowing from the glass breaking on his forehead.
Yeah. Look
Classic.
at this.
Only one hot rod, Roddy Piper, a.k.a. real name Roderick Toombs.
And he passed away way too soon.
Yeah, definitely. People talk about Dusty Rhodes and this one and that one. And I always say no disrespect to Dusty Rhodes, but I truly miss this guy right here.
I do too.
And here we are, a rare Piper involved in a tag team match here from Japan.
Yeah, give him the spike. Oh, that's always a good move. I loved it. Box his ears in. And Piper Piper has that thing that Flair had, just the persona, the speaking. Gotta be one of the best ever.
The Pit was such a great idea. That's why everybody copied the Pit.
Real quick on the Pit before we move on to, I think we're going to go to Snuka next. Did you hear the thing? I don't know if you heard that. It was on a podcast. I'm going to have to get the clip and send it to you, where they were going to have OJ on Piper's Pit after 94. And they were going to have a whole thing. I got to send it. This was a bizarre. Wow. And they decided to scrap it, though. And probably a good idea. But anyways, I'll send it.
That would have been a good idea. Got ratings for sure. But then what could have happened out of that? Yeah.
Let me make sure I'm bringing I hope I bring up the right one. Let's just play. I'm thinking it's going to be Snuka, but we know who it is, whatever. Here we go. Let's see who comes up.
Yes, indeed. You're right, John. Yeah. Here we again, some rare footage of the Superfly, another one. the Superfly Jimmy Snuka, one of a kind, John.
Oh my God, yeah, yeah. He was
What a great career, no matter where he was.
underrated again. Another guy who, I mean,
should
he
have
was
even
on.
been damned Intercontinental Champion at least. They didn't even give him that.
I know. He was every Saturday. Man, I couldn't wait to see him every Saturday morning.
Right, on Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. So we went from the 77, 78 San Francisco territory to, again, Portland. And here we see Snuka against Playboy Buddy Rose.
He's too much. Playboy Buddy. What a. Oh, cracks me up.
Yeah, we're getting back to Saturday. Of course, this is why our show's on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Saturday was wrestling day, and Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling there. At least Snuka was the U.S. champion, and he was tag team champion. So they kind of recognized him there at least.
Yes.
Here's a rare one from Houston against Ken Patera.
Ken Patera, yeah. And who are can you know who are the managers here?
Well, the manager there with Ken Patera is a young J.J. Dillon, but this gentleman with the Superfly, I don't know.
Yeah, that was me neither. Like, I was like, who the hell? He looked like, honestly, he looked like a doctor I had once, but I don't know.
Yeah, and I didn't hear a name either, so I don't know. That puzzled me myself.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Snuka here, what a career.
Yeah, what a character. Big guy, too. Look at the size of him as he's jumping around all over.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And here's a rare one, too.
This is yeah.
This is, of course, near the ending of their in-ring careers. As you can tell, our friend the Iron Sheik there gained some weight here going against Superfly.
Oh, this is unreal. Look at this. They're at like Ransomville Speedway or something.
Yeah. All the indie shows and independent leagues, they traveled.
Man, I wish I could be in the crowd. That had to be unbelievable. Let's move on, and I think we're gonna have the grapplers now. Let's see.
We should, yes. Yes, indeed. Here we got. We started talking about different tag teams, and John, I don't know. I think you would remember at least one of the grapplers, right?
Yes. One of them, yeah.
Yep, here this was the Grapplers as a tag team. I don't know, Grappler 1, Grappler 2.
Yeah.
That first footage was from Southwest Championship Wrestling. This is like 82, 83, and now we got them here in Memphis. But, yeah, again, masked wrestlers were great, especially the tag team. The Grapplers, like the Assassins.
Oh, yeah. I loved them, and as a littler kid, when I would watch them back in the early 80s, like you're saying, they'd almost make you a little bit scared. It's weird, but they were the best. I miss them.
Yeah, big guys under the mask. You wonder who they were, if you would ever see their face someday. I mean, what a great gimmick and great angle.
And the one that always stuck with me was Sergeant Slaughter.
Super Destroyer Mark II.
Yep.
Yeah. Here again, we see the Grapplers are with Jimmy Hart, a young Jimmy Hart and Jim Cornette there in Memphis.
Wow, look at that. Oh,
and
look at that.
Here we are. This was the Grapplers, which we're going to see here out of the NWA Central States territory, like 84, 85. And we're going to see them in a minute go in the ring against another friend of the show.
Yeah.
Mr. Jerry Oates and his brother Ted.
Oh, yeah, there they are. Look at
the
that.
Oates.
And the Grapplers. Yeah, this is great footage. I love it. I wonder what it is, Chris. What is it that they don't use masked wrestlers? Maybe it's because everyone just needs to be seen nowadays. I guess maybe that's it, because of social media and stuff. Everyone wants to be seen. I don't know.
I don't know. And then here we are again towards the end of their careers. This was in out of Texas here against the Batten Twins, another kind of famous tag team out of the Central States, Texas area. But yeah, John, there's only one masked wrestler, I mean, other than Rey Mysterio Jr., but a lot of us have seen through WCW and that over the years who Rey Mysterio looks like. But then he's got the mask back on. but there's only one masked wrestler that I know of still today in the NWA out there on Fight, and he goes by Scion.
Oh,
But he's saying his father was a former world champion, so that at least they got that mystery and that thing going over there. And I'm curious to see who's under that mask if we ever see. But
see, that's great. That's
definitely definitely masked wrestlers. There are so many great ones.
and now the last one is one of my favorites. Greg the Hammer Valentine. Here he is.
Yes. Again, some early footage of Greg the Hammer Valentine here from Houston against Tiger Conway Jr. This was the Houston Coliseum.
He had the best robes, man. Look at those robes.
Yeah, all the different robes. I liked that was a black and red one, but I liked he had a nice blue one I liked here.
Yeah.
And here's some rare footage, John, out of Canada. It was a show called The Superstars of Wrestling there with George Cannon as one of the hosts. And here we see Greg the Hammer taking on, I'm sure, a local opponent.
Yeah, right. Look at this. Look at the moves. Look at this. This was good time. This was good stuff.
Yeah, this one, wrestling was wrestling back in, all the way at least until... I don't know, early 2000, but
yeah, I mean, as much as everyone liked, and I don't mean to get into it. Well, I mean, everyone liked the Attitude Era, but the Attitude Era also, I think, started some of what we have today.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? More worried about story
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the Hammer, right? Other than the figure four, he was known for that. The hammer, dropping that hammer elbow of his.
That was and that was kind of what Jonard was talking about. Why can't that finish you? It should.
Right. I mean, it did then. Too.
Yeah. Great clip. Great clips again, Chris.
Yeah, we try and mix it up each and every week here, and
I love it. Every time, man, you bring them, and I like some of that Snuka with the Iron Sheik. Who can see that? No one sees that, but you. I mean, there's no one who's going to see that unless they saw it with their own eyes. I'm going to assume you're the only other guy who has it. So this podcast,
probably, a lot of them, and of course that leads into our jobber or enhancement talent of the week. And who do we have this week?
Well, who we got this week is Mr. Red Tyler. He stands 5'11", 240 pounds. He had 50 matches in the between the WWF, WCW, and International Wrestling Alliance. He was 0 for 50, and his last match was 1996 WCW against Razor Ramon. His first match ever was versus, let me see here, Bad News Brown.
Oh, wow.
So that's Red Tyler. He had big guy there. He had 50 matches. I mean, and I was looking at his thing where, you see he worked a lot. I mean, for that time, he was always going, so
through different territories too. Got to give it to him. Yeah.
And there he is, a guy that we certainly appreciate. We've talked about it so many times. Oh, by the way, his first match was in 1986 in the International Wrestling Alliance. That was against Bad News Brown. So,
wow. So 86 into the 90s.
Yeah. So these are the guys we're going to get. Like we've talked about Silent Brian McNee a lot. My favorite from Maple Leaf Wrestling. And if I ever get
we're going to have a special guest towards that. A little hint to stay tuned to us each and every week here. And in the month of September, we will have a former pro wrestler known especially throughout the Canada area. Mr. Bobby Bass will join us, and we will definitely ask him about the silent one for sure.
Yeah, and you know what I'm going to say? I say this a lot, and I say it again. Those guys meant a lot more to me than I realized, and they're really awesome. I mean, when you think about, I remember Silent Brian McNee. That's back from the '80s. I mean, these guys were just as we say it all the time, just as important as anything else that went on there. Yeah. hopefully we'll catch up with the silent one and the guest that you're bringing with us. I can't wait. I want to bring up something. I brought it up earlier with Jonard, just in case you didn't see it. This was Briscoe's comment on Flair. I just wanted to get a little more from you on it, Chris, because that's coming up at the end of this month. And it says he's got a damn pacemaker, and it worries me. I don't want to see Ric Flair drop dead. I'm not going to watch it. I think we have to watch it, kind of, Chris. I mean, we're doing a podcast. We got to watch it.
Yeah, we're definitely going to watch it. I hope and pray we don't see anything bad happen live on nationwide, worldwide TV there, but I don't think so. I know, he's working out, and he's been working out a lot lately, and I wish I knew who he was wrestling, though. I've got to have a little build up here. I mean, but I don't know why they're keeping that silent from us right now, but it's going to be a whole pay-per-view, not just that Ric Flair match. So should be interesting.
I see he was cut. It looked like in a picture the other day, looked like he was bleeding or something. It looked like his head was as though he was practicing bleeding or something.
Oh, yes. I saw that, by the way. In fact, that was Mr. David Crockett was on the Flair's podcast there. And he said, Rick, what are you doing? And he was taping up the little razor blade like they used to do, for bleeding. So I don't know. Yeah.
He's going to give us a show. I mean, this is going to be unbelievable. I can't wait. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but I also, like you said, I just can't. I would hate to see such a great. It can't. There's no way. The only thing that'll be cool is if they do build this up to we don't know who he's going to wrestle, but it's got to be someone. I can't even think, but Sting is what you've said. I mean, that would be unbelievable. That would be great.
Yeah, I mean, since the other ones have said no, like Hogan and Steamboat and Kevin Von Erich, there's not a lot of big names that also wrestled him in the past that would wrestle him again here in his last one.
Maybe our guy Jay Eagle.
I don't know.
That'd be great, right? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. Yeah. It's kind of a good build-up in a way, but of course, I also would like to see, wow, Ric Flair versus so-and-so one last time, promote that way too, but...
What's it, July 31st?
Yeah, I believe that's a Sunday, July 31st, and it will be on Fight pay-per-view, and I believe it starts at 6:05.
Oh, good.
So we will definitely check it out and hope for the best.
Well, I guess we should probably wrap it up, Chris. What a great show, Mr. Jonard Solie, as you call him, wrestling royalty. I'm glad. He's outstanding. The stuff he does for our podcast, I believe, is just what you've met some really great people, Chris.
Yes, through the help of like himself and other people that we know have had on here. And we appreciate that greatly. And, definitely, though, the point of today's show was to have Jonard back on and not only throw a question or two at him, but to help him and help James Beard and Mr. Troy Peterson promote this big convention they're having in a couple of weeks there at Waterloo, Iowa. Of course, we all know. I wish I could have gone. I'm still talking about it every week.
No.
But next year, yeah, because we will have our shirts, we'll have our banner, we'll be there. Definitely
we'll be live streaming
as well as a fan. So yes.
Well, I guess I should say, for everyone out there, if you're in Canada, because I know we have fans, Canadians, a lot of them, we hear from them. Happy Canada Day weekend. And you're in the States, it's 4th of July weekend. It's a great weekend. I hope everyone has great weather, and I really hope our co-host and friend Charlie starts to feel better also.
Yes, and of course, we appreciate our viewers for just taking the time and checking us out. And thanks to John and Robin here. Of course, we are on Twitter at Count Anywhere. We are on Spotify at Falls Count Anywhere. And YouTube, we're also tweaking and going to rework our YouTube for all our shows here.
Definitely are. And please, on Facebook, go to the Falls Count Anywhere page and like it, follow it, because that is going to be where you're going to see all the shows, all the information, everything that Chris has got, Charlie, everything's going to be there. So please go there and follow us and give us a like.
Yes, definitely.
All right,
well,
guys.
John and you and your family and everybody across the country and world, again, happy 4th of July weekend. And we will see you next Saturday right here on Falls Count Anywhere.
Yep. Take care.